Hi guys, it's Kenzie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys 10 tips for ballet beginners. I have been dancing ever since I was 4. I am 20 years old and I have been dancing in a professional company for 2 years now. These are just some of my tips that I feel like would be amazing for anybody just starting out in ballet. And yeah, let's just get into it. Number 1 is consistency is key. Just like anything that you set your mind to, doing it every single day and not quitting is really the key to success. Especially with ballet, it's such a muscle memory thing that you really have to just keep going and dancing every single day. I mean, of course you can take breaks, but really just reminding your brain and your muscles and creating that muscle to mind connection, that consistency over the course of years is really what is going to make the difference. You just do 1 class a week, that's really not going to build that muscle to mind connection as quick or as efficient as you need. Number 2 is basics. I feel like when, especially if you're older and you're just starting out in ballet, you want to get right into the 32 fouettes or be caught up in all of these big steps. Really what is going to get you there is the basics. That's why you see a lot of professionals just going back to the basics and why bar is so important. Basics meaning just the simple exercises that you do at the bar, so plie, tendu, all of these are really building your muscles and it's giving you the strength and technique that you need to then complete these harder steps like fouette turns or pirouettes or grand jetés. And if you do start to progress onto harder things and you feel like nothing is working, try to go back to the basics, go back to the bar, see what if your alignment is off or you're not turning out. Or number 3 is listen to the music. This is incredibly important. The music is probably one of the most important parts to dance. This art form wouldn't be what it is without the music. Dance and the music are combined. It's not just the dancer and the music, it's all in one. And you really need to be a part of the music. You need to listen to the music, know how to count the music. The music is everything. The music moves you. If you're a beginner, just keep that in mind and make sure to not disregard it. It is still an art form. It's not just a sport. Because honestly, nobody cares if you can do 32 fouettes if the rest of the ballet you were off the music and not artistic. It won't be good, Number 4 is watch professionals. This I will scream till I die. This has been one of the factors that has helped me in my artistry and the way that I dance so incredibly much. When I was younger, I would watch videos every night because honestly I enjoyed it and I loved watching them. I always watched Natalia Osipova, Svetlana Zaharova, Marinela Nunez. These are some of my favorites. A lot of Dutch National Ballet or Royal Ballet. Watching these professionals, they have a certain quality to them that you really need to learn if you want to be the best dancer that you can be. Watching people and learning from other people, it will translate into your own dancing subconsciously, honestly, because I think that's what happened to me. Because honestly, I wasn't oh, I want to try to be like her. I would just watch them all the time. And sooner or later when I got older, I just was oh, my quality of movement has gotten amazing. I wasn't even really trying to work on it. I just the fluidity and the way that I placed my arms in my head and the way that I ran and the little details that I picked up subconsciously from watching these professionals. It's amazing. So number 5 is to take class from different teachers. I think when you're starting out, you probably don't have many access to different teachers. So it's really easy to just get stuck with that one teacher, that one class that you take maybe. I advise you to try to not do that if you can, just because different people have different things to say. And I feel like teachers also usually give the same kind of class every time and do the same types of steps. I don't know why. So that's why it's just better to have a variety of teachers that teach different kinds of choreographies, that have different dynamics. One teacher might not have many corrections for you and this other teacher might have a crap ton of corrections for you. So it's always just really good to have different teachers. Number 6 is to find your why. I heard this on a podcast a few months ago. I thought it was really beautiful on if you feel kind of like you bottomed out in something, finding your why is a way to help you to understand why you started it in the first place or why you love it in the first place. Finding your why early on can really help you to just get that motivation to keep going. So whenever you feel discouraged, go back to that why and remind yourself of why you're doing this. You know, are you doing this because you want a creative outlet? Are you doing this because it's been your dream forever, you know? Number 7 is to stretch and strengthen every single day before and after class. Strengthen before class, stretch after class. This is something that I've actually started to implement or want to implement into my future career, because yes, while just doing ballet and like bar works the muscles that you need to, sometimes it's helpful to have just a little extra strengthening on like your hamstrings, your quads, your hip flexors. All of that strengthening, body weight strengthening, will be very beneficial to you in the long run and will help you just build those muscles even more. Of course, probably don't lift a bunch of weights, but like body weight strengthening will be very beneficial, especially with your calves and your feet. And then stretch after you're warm. So after your class, do like a 10-minute stretch. That's all I do. And it really just helps you with your flexibility. And of course, flexibility is just a really important part to ballet. Number 8 is focus on the quality of your movement. Again, I think it's really, really easy to fall into the trap of focusing on quantity instead of quality, if that makes sense. So like say for pirouettes, you want to do a triple. So you just focus on the quantity of it, but not really on the way that it looks. So the quality of it, like how are you doing it? How does it look, you know? So then you end up being a dancer that is less dynamic, is less, I want to say interesting to watch, because you have focused so much on the quantity instead of the quality and fluidity of the movement and the artistry on it. Of course, both can be important. I think building that quality of your movement and your arms and just, you know, your head and your épaulement, like focusing on those little details and the quality of that will be very beneficial to start doing that as soon as you can. Number 9 is to document your progress and be patient. If I was a beginner, I think that I would get probably very discouraged, especially if I was older and I was just starting out. I suggest that you document your progress. You know, film yourself doing bar, film yourself doing extensions when you first start out. Work really hard and do all of these tips that I have. And then film yourself a month later, and then do it again the next month and the next month. And then you can see your progress and see how much better like your quality of movement is. See how much higher your extensions are, maybe. See how much more confident you are. It's hard to see a gradual progression. So if you do that, you can look back and be like, wow, like I didn't even realize. And I think that it would be a really great motivator for you as a beginner. Be patient, because just like anything, I mean, it takes time. It will take time. And if it's something that you really love, you have all the time in the world. Be patient. Nobody's expecting you to be anywhere by any time. And finally, number 10 is to find a good learning environment. And this one can be a little tricky, but I can't stress enough how much your environment impacts the way that you learn and the way that you view the art form. So I just want to make sure that you guys find a really good place to dance. Like if you're dancing not just at home, but if you're actually dancing at a studio, make sure that studio is reputable and make sure the teachers aren't yelling at you, making you feel bad. Really ask yourself, how do these classes make me feel? How do these teachers make me feel? Because if it's a bad experience, it's just not worth it. And if the people there, if you can find a good community or some friends, that would be an amazing learning environment, because you guys can, you know, bond over that and share your progress and just keep going and just share the love of this art form together, which is just such a beautiful thing. Okay, those were my 10 tips for ballet beginners. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I feel like there were some pretty good tips in there. Of course, I'm not a ballet beginner, and I never really was, because since I started when I was really little. But if I were to coach somebody when they were just starting out, I feel like this is what I would say to them, and I feel like it would help a little bit. And I still do a lot of these tips myself. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!